little bit in parts because I'm going to film each part and push them together, but it's one video for your lesson. All right, so this lesson, we're just talking about a lot of simple stuff. So a lot of it might be review to you. Even if it's review, don't just go, oh, Miss Ashley, I know this, and record that in a video. No, 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 you need to keep watching. Watch all of it, just in case there might be one little thing that you are not as sure about, you need to review, something like that, okay? So, keep watching. Even if you know all of it, keep watching. Okay, so, we are starting by talking about whole number place value. Whole number place value. So, a whole number, that is made up of digits. The digits are just these numbers. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those single numbers, we call them digits, and we put them together to make up other numbers. So 427, that's a whole number. Now notice I've written 427 twice. Once with a punto, once without. These are the same exact number. They have the same exact value. So every number has a decimal point. It's just that in some it's invisible, and sometimes we write it. Typically, we leave off that decimal when there is no number after it. So we don't really normally write 427 punto. It's not necessary. But it could be there. So you need to be aware that every number has that decimal. It just might be invisible if it's a whole number with no decimal part after it. We don't normally put the decimal. But if you did, it wouldn't change the value. It's just an extra unnecessary piece to your number. Well, each digit has a different value based on where it is in your number. Now, this is something that you should have already learned, but I'm going to go over it again just in case. Maybe you missed it, maybe you've kind of forgot. It's been kind of a weird year, long summer, short summer, so there's a lot of stuff that tends to fly out of our brains. So the places of our numbers are named like this. The very first place is the ones place. Second is tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. The next place would be called the what? That's right, the millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, then billions, 10 billions, 100 billions, then trillions, 10 trillions, 100 trillions, and the pattern continues just like that. So look at the number 5. The value of 5 changes based on where it is. For example, in this particular number, my 5 is right here in the which place? That's right, the thousands place. So since my number is in the thousands place, the value of 5 is 5,000 because it's found in the thousands place. In this one, where is the 5 found? Now you better be answering me out loud. Okay, answer me out loud. Where is the 5 found? That's right, the hundreds place. So its value is 500 in this number. Oops, we're starting to die. So 500. Okay, over here. Lean back a little so you can see. There's my 5, right at the very end. It's in the ones place. So since it's in the one place, my value is just 5, and that's it. Okay, look at this number here, 46,235. I want to know the value of each of my underlined digits. Well, the value of 4 is in the 10,000s place. So its value is 4 in the 10,000, and then zeros for the rest of those places, 40,000. The value of the 2 is in the hundreds place. So 2 in the hundreds place, 0 for all the digits after it. The 5 is in the ones place. So 5 in the ones place, nothing after it, it's just 5. So that's how you determine the value of a number. All right, so now we're on the second part of the lesson, which is talking about how you write your numbers. And this is very, very important because you're going to be practicing it a lot in your lesson. It's important to make sure you're writing your numbers neatly, whether they're in number form or whether they're in word form. You need to write it out neatly, and you need to know how to spell correctly. That is extremely important. Now, as I explained to your parents in the Zoom meeting, and as you should have already read in your welcome packet, if I get work that is really messy and sloppy, there's a lot of misspellings that really shouldn't be there, I'm going to send it back to you and you have to do it over again, plus your other homework that you still have to be on top of. So you really don't want that to happen to you, okay? So make sure you do it well the first time. You want to do it with excellence from the very beginning, okay? So please, please, please do your best. Pay careful attention to these rules and guidelines about writing numbers, and that will help you a lot. Okay, when we have the numbers from 21 to 99, when you write them out as words, you hyphenate the words. That means you put that little line right in between the two words. For example, 23 is written 20-3. So right here is that hyphen mark. Okay, now this only applies, by the way, to those numbers between 21 and 99 that aren't a multiple of 10, like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Those don't count because it's just one word, 20, 60. These are two words, 23. So 64 is written 60-4. 98 is 90-8. Okay? When you're writing numbers that include the hundreds place, sometimes maybe you've heard someone say 501. That's actually incorrect. You never put that and in there. Okay, so it really should only be 501. Ja. No and in there. Just 501. 372. 370-2. And that's it. Okay? When you are writing the 100 numbers, they don't need to be hyphenated. So it's just 1000. Except, here's a difference. Now, this particular rule, you won't really see yourself having to apply very often. So don't get overwhelmed. You got this, okay? So 1000, but if it's an adjective, it's describing something. 1000's place. Which place? The 1000's place. Well, then you need a hyphen because you're describing that place, the 1000's place. Okay? All right. Now look at this number. 51,027,520. For your homework, you are going to need to write this number out as numbers. You'll also have to go the other direction. They're going to give you a long number and you're going to have to write it as words. So you need to be comfortable doing both. Okay, you can look in your book for examples. For all of you, this is your first experience with the Saxon books. Okay, your Saxon book, the way it's laid out, it gives you your lesson and it gives you examples in that lesson. By the way, if you don't have your book out, following along with me as much as possible, go pause the video, go get your book, open it up, be ready to listen. Okay, so if you need to pause the video, go do that now. Okay, so here you should have your book, be open to page 2. We're talking about reading and writing whole numbers. That's what we're on right now. So we've just gone through some of their examples here. They have more examples. Now there will be times when I will recommend that you not read the book because sometimes it's a little confusing and just my explanation will be enough. Sometimes I'll want you to read the book, but almost always where it says example here in the margin, you'll see example 1.2 up at the top. Those you should always read through. I'll tell you if I don't want you to, but you really should read through those examples because they give you a lot of help with what you're going to do for your homework. And then, right before your homework, you always have, hold it up so you can definitely see that part, you have practice. So your practice, oops, for this one, is at the top of page 4, or excuse me, bottom of page 4. I don't know my tops from my bottoms, whoops. Okay, so it's at the bottom of page 4. This gives you practice for the lesson, okay? So what I'm going to do is read through those practice problems with you here on the video. I'm going to read the problem, then I'm going to have you stop the video, do the problem, and I'm going to read out the answer. Then I'm going to stop, or I'll read the next problem, have you stop, do the problem, then I'll read out the answer. If you are struggling with this particular concept, then I will do another video, or I'll do another part to this video that explains the practice, and you can continue watching that. If you are not having problems and you got all of your practice correct, then just go ahead and start your homework and you can cortar the rest of the video, okay? And I'll tell you when that time comes. For today, I think it'll be pretty simple for you guys, okay? All right, so here we go. 51,027,520. I want to write this as numbers. So I'm going to start by writing it out in my groups. Notice I have a comma separating each of my groups. That's a big hint because you need your commas in your numbers. If you don't have commas in your big numbers, I will find you and I will beat you, okay? So put your commas in your numbers, okay? Ask any of my other kiddos and they'll tell you I'm a comma Nazi. That means that I am really strict about my commas, so make sure they're there. Okay, so first group, 51 billion. So, oops, try to draw a straighter line than that. I've got my billions group, comma. The next group after that is a millions group. So I'll draw the 3 digits because I know that there should be 3 digits in each group. So I'm drawing 3 little lines for each group. Then my thousands group, and then my hundreds group. Okay, coming back up here to my number. 51 billion. Well, I don't have anything in the 100 billions place, but I have a 5 in my tens and a 1 in my 1 billions. So 51. Now I don't have anything that says millions. So that means in my millions group, I'm going to fill it with zeros. I can't just skip it and not write it because then this wouldn't be the billions place. I have to have something holding the place of the millions. So I have to put those zeros there to hold their place. Otherwise, it changes the value of the number. You have to show that place in between your first number and your last number. So the next number is 27,000. Well, I don't have anything in the hundreds place, so I put my 2 from 27 in the tens, 7 ones. Now remember, I have to have something holding this place since it's in between my first number and my last number. So I have to put a 0 there. I don't need a 0 in the front here, because it's not in between the first and last number. Now I have 520. So I have 5 in the hundreds place, 2 in the tens place, and a 0 in the ones place because it's a 20. So there you go. 51,027,520. Okay? All right. So now we're on the last part of our lesson. This part of the lesson talks about something called expanded notation. Now, you may be wondering, what in the world, why do we have to do something like this? Well, it'll be more important later on with other lessons, so it's something you have to learn now to use later, okay? Just trust me. So, expanded notation. This starts with a number like this, 5,020. In expanded notation, we don't so much care about all of the numbers, but we more care about their value. So to write a number in expanded notation, we're writing it according to its value in the number. So we look for first all of the non-zero digits. That in this number would be the 5 and the 2. Okay? I'm going to turn myself a little bit so that I can write a little easier and you'll actually see numbers. So 5 and 2 are your non-zero digits. So you write that digit, then you multiply it by the value of the place that it's in. So the 5,000 is in the thousands place. The 5, I should say, is in the thousands place. So it's 5 times 1,000. And then you close that in parentheses. Now you have the next non-zero digit, which in this case is 2. It's in the tens place. So 2 times 10. Close it in parentheses and put an addition sign between those two. So 5 times 1,000 plus 2 times 10. That's your number written in expanded notation. Now to go back from the expanded notation to a regular number, you just work backwards. Here I have 4 times 10,000. So that means that I have a 4 in the 10,000s place. Do I have a thousands place? Well, let's see. 4 times 10,000 plus 6 times 100. I skipped it. I don't have a thousands place. So that means my number there is a 0. And I know the next thing should be a comma. Then I have 6 times 100. Well, that's my next place, so I put 6 in the hundreds place. Next is the tens place. Do I have a 10? Nope, there's no 10, so that means it's a 0. Plus 5 times 1. So 5 goes in the ones place. And that's your number, written going from expanded notation to regular notation, also known as standard form. You'll see that on your practice. It asks you for the standard form, it means you're writing the regular number. Okay? All right, look at this number. 6,305,126. If I want to write this in expanded form, I'm going to start on this end with my 6. It's in the millions place. So 6 times 1 million. Close that in parentheses. Plus the next one. My next digit is 3. And it is in the 100,000s place. Close it in parentheses. Add it to my next one. My next digit is 5, which is in the thousands place. Close my parentheses, add it to the next number, which is the 1, which is in the hundreds place. Close parentheses, add it to the next number, which would be 2 in the tens place. Close parentheses, add it to the next number, which is 6 in the ones place. Okay? So there you have it. That's expanded notation. Remember, expand means when something gets larger. So you should have noticed that your number got way bigger. It's not hard, it's actually kind of fun, but it does make your number a lot bigger, okay? Make sure that as you're doing your homework, that you check each problem. There's a very, very important system that you're going to have to be getting used to. It's a little different than the math that you did before with Miss Bethany. In this math book, in this math class, you need to do your problem either 2 times or do it where you can check it on the paper. There's no way for you to check this on your paper. So the only way that you can really check it is to do it 2 times. And that is part of your homework. If I receive your work from you and it's not done twice, then you have to redo it, the whole thing 2 times. And that's a lot to redo. So make sure that you're doing it 2 times a piece. You don't want to do that. Also, you need to check in the back of your book are the answers to the odd problems. So you need to, after you do the problem, you need to go check them in the back of your book. You need to show all of your work. If you're not showing all of your work, it will be very obvious to me that you are not doing your work before you check it in the back of your book. So you shouldn't be getting any odd problems wrong, because if you check a number in the back of your book and it's incorrect, then you need to go back into your homework and do it the correct way. Only the odd numbers, only the odd number problems are in the back of your book. So check those, make sure you get them correct. I will be sending out tomorrow morning the answers to today's homework. You need to check the answers and then correct any incorrect problems. Send me a picture that you did that you corrected your problems, and so I know that you did that work. And then I'll see it when it's brought in to me, okay? If I'm not seeing this work that I'm asking for, then you will have to redo it, okay? So you don't want to have to do that. Make sure that you give me exactly what I asked for. Do all of your problems 2 times, or where you can check it on the paper. If you can't check it on the paper, where I can see you checked it, then you have to do it 2 times. If you're not sure, go ahead and do it 2 times, because you don't want to have to redo everything. Okay? Okay, one more thing before we do your practice. Now, today's practice is pretty easy, so I'm not going to do a separate explanation video for this practice. plus our video is running kind of long. So I'm going to just go ahead and give you the answers after you do the practice. And then if you have any questions, if you feel like you don't understand this concept, please let me know. Send me a message and I will be happy to help you. We can do a video call or something like that if you need a little bit more help. Okay, so the last part of this lesson is just addition. If you see something like this, 4 plus 407 plus 3,526, just be careful when you add it. Make sure that you add it up correctly. Line up your numbers. So 407, make sure you put the 4 in the hundreds place, 0 in the tens, 7 in the ones, and this 4 in the ones. Then you can add it. Don't add your 4 to the thousands because that's not where it goes. So just make sure your number is in the correct spot. Okay, let's look at your practice. All right, practice at the bottom of page 4. After I read it, pause the video and do it, and then I'll tell you the answer. Practice A. In the number 152,068, what is the value of 2? Then pause it. All right, the value of 2 is 2,000. So you should have written it out like this. 2,000. By the way, you do not need to do your practice twice because we're doing them together here on the video. But your homework, yes. Okay, letter B. Write in standard form. 6 times 1,000 plus 4 times 10 plus 3 times 1. Okay, so you should have written 6,043. Should have been your answer. Okay, how are you doing so far? So far, so good? Great. All right, letter C. Write 85,020 in expanded form. So you have 8 times 10,000. Oops, I didn't pause for my mom. Plus 5 times 1,000 plus 2 times 10. That should be your answer for this one. All right, letter D. Excuse me. Use digits to write this number. 10,205,041,500. Okay, so you should have written 10,205,041,500. All right, and the last one. Use words to write this number. 36,025,103. Separate each group with a comma. So you should have 36, don't forget that hyphen, million, 20, hyphen, 5,000, 100, no hyphen between the 1 and the 100, 3. And there you go. That's your practice, okay? Hopefully you got those all correct. If you missed something, I hope it was just a silly little mistake that you're like, oh, I got it now. But if there's something that you don't understand, please don't go, oh, well, I'll just work it out in my homework. No, no, no. Please ask me any questions that you may have, okay? I'm here to help you and I want to help you, okay? Love you guys. Have a fantastic day. Can't wait to see you again.